Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Donovan, and earlier today I did an unboxing of the new Samsung Galaxy Watch 3, and today we're just going to do a deep dive into the hardware and software of this watch, run through some of the specs. A full review will definitely be coming out later. Also be doing some comparisons to some other watches as well, so stay tuned for those in the near future. So first thing. So first thing to mention here is that this one comes with Tizen OS 5.5, so it's a newer version of Samsung's own Watch OS. And honestly, it feels very similar to Tizen 4.0, which came on the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. I don't notice a whole lot of differences from when I owned that watch. I do notice here in the music settings, I don't remember this before, but this is just a difference between, you can switch easily between the music on the watch versus the music on your phone. And so now I can control the music on my phone, which is kind of cool. Basically all the apps look about the same. Of course, you can go to the App Store, which I think is still a little bit limited. We have a notification here. We'll hit the back button and go back to the home screen. And that's, I would say, probably the biggest limiting factor of Tizen OS, and that is that the number of apps that are available are a little bit limited. But honestly, what you really need is here and available, so you can get your weather, of course, you can track your health, and this one does have GPS built in, so it has GPS, GLONASS, Baidu, so should be pretty accurate. We're going to test that out here in the near future. We have Spotify for music. You can also, I think, connect up maybe Pandora, Deezer. There's a few options available as well, and there's other ways to track your health as well. You don't have to necessarily use Samsung Health. You can use some of those Under Armour apps as well, like Map My Run. You can, of course, track your sleep, things like that. And then, of course, you can get notifications. One of the things I really like about this is how nice the notifications look here. And, of course, it's a full color display here. So we have a 360 by 360 AMOLED display. You can see I've downloaded a bunch of music on here. And speaking of downloading a bunch of music, this has 8 gigs of storage. So that's double what you've been getting on previous Samsung watches, which is really nice, which means I can download more Spotify playlists and not stuck with the same 2 or 3 Spotify playlists. So 8 gigs of internal storage here, 1 gig of RAM. Also, you'll notice that it does feels a little bit more fluid. This one does also have a physical bezel, so a lot like the Galaxy Watch, whereas the Active 2 had a software bezel that you could rotate, and it would vibrate as you're rotating. And honestly, I didn't mind that. I thought the software bezel worked well too, but the physical bezel probably is a little bit better, to be completely honest. So as far as battery, though, this one has the same size battery as the Active 2. Samsung claims 56 hours of battery life, so little over 2 days, whereas the Active 2, they claimed 60 hours. And on the Active 2, I was getting just over a day. I could get through about a day and a half on battery. Now, I'm a heavy user, though, so that's something to keep in mind. The Galaxy Watch, though, however, had a larger 470 milliamp hour battery, and Samsung claimed 80 hours, I should say, and I typically got around 2, maybe 3 days of battery life. So this feels like a cross somewhere between the Galaxy Watch and the Active 2 in terms of specs. It actually has the same processor that both of those watches had, but enough about that. Let's take a look at the actual design. So the design definitely has a more of a classic watch look. It comes with leather straps, which personally for me, I'm definitely going to be swapping these out because I'm going to be using it for running, tracking some workouts. So obviously you can see they are quick release. Now I have the 45 millimeter version of the watch, which comes with 22 millimeter straps, as you can see here. So this is my Amazfit Stratus 3. It comes with silicone straps. So I'm basically just going to swap out the silicone straps here because they're quick release. This one's quick release. And so we're going to swap them out and put the silicone bands on here because they're better for me while I'm working out, and not going to get that leather all sweaty and gross. So I'll definitely be doing that. As far as the hardware buttons go, we have 2 buttons. This one is our back button. This one's our home button. So when you're already in the home screen, it's going to take you into your apps, and this one's going to take us back. Of course, you can navigate using the rotating bezel. As far as the settings here, we can pull down and get some quick settings. So you can see I have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connected. So right now it's connected actually up to, don't hate me here, but I have it connected up to my iPhone. And when you're using it, you're going to use two apps, the Galaxy Watch app and Samsung Health. Then we have our other quick settings here. So a bunch of quick settings, nice to have up here. And let's see here. So we have Bluetooth here. We have our night mode. This is our always on display here. So you can turn that on or off. That's do not disturb. That's going to take us into our settings. We'll rotate over, and that's a power off and brightness and things like that. So a bunch of nice watch settings here. So we'll go ahead and back out of that. And nothing when you pull from the bottom. If you go to the right, you can go over to your various widgets. These are super easy to swap out. So if you want to change that, so maybe you don't want weather here, maybe you want health right next to your main watch face, you can just swap it over like that. You can also do all of this via the app here. So this is the Galaxy Watch app, and you can do all the same stuff here. You can see it's all connected up. All of the settings that are on the watch are also on the phone as well. Now I like having the weather right next to my main home screen. And we can get it in there between Spotify. There we go. Okay, and then we'll back out of that. Now, as far as the watch face, that's another thing I really like about this and how customizable these are. And by the way, the one thing that there's no shortage of when it comes to Galaxy Watches and Tizen OS is watch faces. There are just so many of them. But I like one that shows a ton of data. So that's what I have here. So let's go ahead and hit Customize. And you can see first thing you'll be able to customize is the color. There's 15 different colors available apparently for this one, so you can kind of swap through them by rotating through. And I definitely don't like that one. Let's go with like a bluish color. Okay, and then you can swipe over to get over to the next thing, so you can change this. So right now I have it as steps, but if you want to change it to something else, so these are just shortcuts, so I can change it to 43 different shortcuts, which is really cool. So tons of options there. And I can swipe over, and now I can change that one. So I can change that one to any one of those 43 settings as well. And swipe over one more time, got a Strava notification there. Then down here, I change that to calories, but again, it's calories burned. But again, you have those 43 options, and swipe over one more time. We have our heart rate. That's what I have it set as, another Strava notification here. And then I can change that one to a bunch of different things as well. So all 43 things are available there. And the last thing you can change is this setting right here. So I have it as weather and sun, but you can see there's 12 different options there. So I can kind of swipe through those. So I can have it as none if I want even. But we'll go ahead and stick with weather and sun, and then just hit OK whenever we're done. And you can customize a bunch of these watch faces as well. So if you come over here, you can customize that one. And the same is true when you go into the app. So if you want to go in here and get different watch faces, there's a ton of them available in the App Store as well. So the Galaxy App Store, that is. So I'm going to stick with this one here. So that's kind of a quick walkthrough in terms of the watch. Now, I will go through the settings here. So one thing you'll notice is that they're very similar to what you get here. So up here, they have notifications. So let me show you that real quick. So I'm going to go into notifications, and let's say I don't want a certain app to show notifications. So let's say I don't want Strava. I can come over here and I can go in here to block notifications, because honestly, I don't necessarily want all of my notifications from my phone coming to my watch. I've already turned a bunch of them off. So like maybe I don't want CNN coming in there, or Apple News. Maybe I don't need both of those. That's definitely not necessary, because they're both showing me basically the same thing there. So I'll just block those notifications, turn it off. And there we go, they're blocked. All right, so now I'm not going to get those anymore. We get Gmail, there's Spotify. So all the apps, all the notifications I get from my phone can come here to the watch. Now, I should also mention this does have a microphone somewhere in here. Where's that microphone and speaker? So there's a speaker down here. It's hard to see because of the watch band, but there is a speaker down here, and then there's a microphone. Actually, sorry, the speaker's over here. That's why you can't see it. If I'd actually show you where it's at, there it is. There's the speaker. speaker. And up here we have a microphone, and I believe a second one right over here. There it is, the little pinhole there. And so you can dictate your responses. Now, the sad thing is with iPhone, you can't respond to text messages. You can't take phone calls directly to the watch. That's the one limitation if you're using it with an iPhone. If you're using it with an Android phone, obviously Samsung or any other Android phone, you can take phone calls directly to the watch and also respond directly to text messages through the watch as well. All right, let's set that aside. Take a look at the apps here. So there's our notifications. We can go into apps and we can organize our apps here however we want, so we can customize that. So if you want to change those up, the order, you can do that. We can auto open apps. We can change the way it's viewed. And again, these are all adjustable on the watch as well. It's probably easier to do it on the phone, but that is something you can do here. We can change the sound and vibration in here, so all kinds of different various options. Again, there's a ton of options, so that's something to keep in mind here. So we have auto brightness. We can change our screen timeout. Again, all this can be done on the watch as well. We can change our background style, show the charging info when it's charging. We have a bunch of advanced ones here. So one thing that I changed already was the double press of the home key. So if I double press my home key, so notice it says workout list. So I can go here and double press, and it's going to take me into my workout options. So you can see here, it's going to let you know when you're locked on with GPS and locked on with your heart rate. So you don't want to start a workout until those two things are locked in. You can adjust the wake up gesture, the touch screen to wake up, and then also the bezel to wake up. So right now I have it on set so that if the screen does go off, go ahead and turn that off. So now it's on. Right now it's technically off because I have the watch always on. And we'll just go ahead and rotate. Oh, my wife just sent me a message to ask if I was almost done. Okay, so let's try that again. So now if I rotate the bezel, you can see that that turns the screen on here. All right, so we have a water lock option, touch sensitivity. So you can see that if you're wearing gloves, it'll make it more touch sensitive, which is nice. We have Find My Watch. We can add content. So if you want to add music or images, you can do that as well. And we have Bixby. I'm not going to use Bixby because I'm using it with an iPhone anyway. So we can change our keyboard options, and we can change it to slow or fast for speech rate. So all kinds of different settings available in here. The only other things I wanted to mention that I've run through already, and maybe just a limitation, I'm going to go into workouts here. So I double press there. I'm going to go into running, and you can see when you go into your workout screens, this is just a limitation that I've personally felt. I'm a distance runner, so this is just something that's personal to me. But when you go into your screens, you only have the option of 3 settings. So I've set it up to my mileage, my average pace, and my that's the current pace, average pace, and your mileage or distance. So there's a limitation there when it comes to what it can show you. You're limited to basically 3 data points. Like I mentioned, I'm kind of a data nerd. So like on my Amazfit watch, so when I'm looking at it, I have 5 data pieces while I'm running. On my Apple Watch, same thing. I think I actually have this one set up maybe to 5 or 6. I can't remember. Maybe if I go into an app real quick, and we're going to pretend to start a workout here. 3, 2, 1. How many data sets do I have here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So yeah, that's just what I prefer. I like the more data, the better. So the fact that you're limited to 3 pieces of data per screen is a little bit limiting to me. You can easily scroll through them though. So it's not terrible, but just something to keep in mind. So other than that, I really like the watch so far. It's definitely more of a smartwatch than I would say a fitness watch. It still has a lot of the same fitness features you get on something like the Apple Watch or something even like my Garmin watches. But it's definitely more of a smartwatch versus this one being more of a fitness watch that happens to have smartwatch features. This one's more of a smartwatch that happens to have fitness features. And then I would say the Apple Watch is kind of somewhere in between there. It's a really good health and fitness watch, but it's also a very good smartwatch. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, whereas Samsung, I think, is probably one of the best smartwatches out there, but a little bit more limited when it comes to fitness features. So just something to keep in mind. I'm going to be doing detailed dive into the fitness features on this watch. I'm going to be testing out that GPS, testing out this heart rate monitor, and putting it through its paces over the next week or so. So stay tuned. Also, a lot of comparison videos to come. So stay tuned to the channel for that. So thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.